sexes, Emma Stone and Steve Carell, Billie Jean King, and I don't know what the guy's name is, this other old tennis guy. I thought there were really great things about it. I don't know if I loved it all the way.
For me, I'm kind of grabbed by the message of the movie. You know, it's based on a true story. The real story of how Billie Jean King took on Bobby Riggs to prove that women deserve equal pay and equal recognition in the world of sports. And so I think, like, walking into it didn't really matter what I was gonna see. I was gonna love it just based on the story. I would say in terms of a film, it's like very feel good. You left like empowered and excited about what's possible in humanity. I thought there was like cinematography was nice, like pretty shots. It's definitely like a enjoyable film to sit through. It wasn't like the most comprehensive, incredible film I've ever seen, but it was a really nice way to spend an afternoon. Probably give it like a 90.
Did you hate anything?
No, I didn't hate anything about it. I mean, it definitely lacked some like, it wasn't like this most special movie I could ever see, but all in all.
What did you love? Did you love anything?
Yeah, I loved the message. I love the story. I mean, it's an incredible story, especially at a time like right now. Can you like back off from my face?
Okay, so here's the thing. The camera work, the imagery of the camera work was sensational. It was like, wow, like, you know, the frames, like you cut these frames out and you can legit, like, this is like a dope photograph, the way the camera moved, all that was sensational. The acting was fantastic. They, you know, you just sort of bought a lot of what was going on. But what I didn't like is it seemed to jump, like the story was like moving at a quick pace, and I didn't emotionally connect. And I was confused because I was like, is it legit like a movie about women breaking through something? Or is it about Billie Jean King, or is it about both of them? Because it didn't really come together for me. It didn't resonate emotionally for me. The movie takes place and you go through all the things, and you know, I know what happens, you know, I know the story of this. So there wasn't any kind of sort of anticipation or concern or for an outcome. You sort of go through this journey with Emma Stone, you know, Billie Jean King, but then ultimately it's like I don't get where she goes emotionally. Like I sort of get it because the movie sort of lays it out in bullet points, but I didn't feel it. There's like emotional scenes in this, and I'm like, it just doesn't connect for me. For me, it felt like this could have been more artistic, and where they went is sort of like they wanted it as general as possible. So, I mean, you know, the camera work, the cinematography was like amazing, and it almost like overshadowed, like it was almost like, wow, this is like really beautiful, and like there's a lot of care being taken into these shots, and the story or the way the story is being shown to me doesn't live up to this beautiful imagery. So I know that it's hard to separate the two, but for me, I can separate the two. Anyway, all that being said, I give it like an 80 out of 100. I think if you wanted to see it, you'll probably get what you want. If you want something more artistic and sort of more like abstract, or something that like really rocks you emotionally, this was not that for me. All right, I love you. Peace and love.
So I think one of the things I liked most about it, obviously there's like the woman power theme to it, but a lot of what I connected with in the film is this kind of like unspoken sexism, which obviously at the time was like much more spoken, but I felt a lot of like when Emma Stone was, or when Billie Jean King is like going through what she's going through, as a female I identify with a lot of assuming that, you know, women belong in a certain place, or that's not really like a woman's job to do that, right? Those are things, while the scale of it has changed over time, the basic premise is still there. So I really connected with that part of her character, and I think as a woman watching this, and I would imagine, I'm not, but I would imagine as a lesbian woman watching this, there would be actually a lot to connect to.